Hey friends, Kevin Goehring, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender here with this week's weekly real estate report. Well, I've got a lot to talk about this week, so let's just go right over to the chart and let me show you what's happening and we can kind of get into what I want to talk about. So first thing I want to point out here, as we have been watching the median sales price of homes slowly start working its way down. So obviously we have hit the peak, we are on our way down, but will it stay? We'll talk about that in a minute. Pending sales, dropping. But again, that is pretty much a seasonal normal. This is what I expect to see around this time of year. So if we kind of take a look at the dates going back in history, where are we? If I can pull up the date here, come on. There we go. Where are we normally this time of year? Well, here we are in August. Let's pull up August. Here's August. Back in 2019, and we stayed even till about August, and we start the major plunge. We go back a little bit more. We started a plunge much earlier that year, but we come back here, started the plunge a little bit earlier. So right about here, that's looking pretty normal. So we're looking like a normal seasonal pending sales. And same can be said with, finally, our inventories climbing. That's what it should be doing this time of year. Normally we're right about in the middle of the climb, and it's going to continue to climb. We can take a look over here all the way up until, well, it stopped our climb early there. We're over here, we climbed all the way until October. So most of the time you're going to see the climb till, oh, there we go, right about now. So we're going to see this start to level off, I'm going to say, in the next, month or so. But, okay, here's what I really want to talk about. What can we expect to really see coming up? Because we got a lot of things in play right now. So it would be easy to sit back and look at this data and say, well, the home inventory is going to continue to climb. The pending sales are going to continue to drop. That's going to mean supply and demand is going to ease, which means home prices are going to start to fall. Now, is that what's going to happen? So let's take a look at behind the curtain a little bit. So first of all, we've got a lot going on with the pandemic virus stuff going on. Foreclosures. Right now, there's about 1.75 million homes in foreclosure. That's 3.5% of the U.S. market. And of course, the federal government has stepped in and said, hey, we don't want foreclosures to happen because of the pandemic. And so a good thing, right? And so that moratorium is eventually going to end. It can't keep carrying this out forever, or can we? I personally believe that with the Biden administration, they're always going to step in. They're always going to be a little more forthcoming in providing assistance for homeowners and preventing those homes from hitting the market. So I don't really think that we're going to see this flood of foreclosed homes coming in from people who can't afford it. I think the government is going to continue to just hand out money to prevent that from happening, which will hurt the supply of homes. But at what cost? It will keep homeowners in their home. A good thing. All right, so let's talk about, though, supply of homes. If you've tried to rent or tried to buy, tried to move at all, you know that there is a significant shortage of homes. And I talk mostly about sales, but let's talk about rentals. If you're trying to rent a home, good luck. There is nothing out there, and rental prices have skyrocketed. All right, but we still have a massive amount of landlords who are not receiving payment because of the eviction moratorium. So I've talked to a lot of landlords. We have landlords everywhere who are fed up with this, who want out. So think about it. Put yourself in a landlord's position. You haven't received any payments for a year maybe. You're fighting to keep your house from going into foreclosure. That is your rental house, which, by the way, that's why mortgage rates are always higher, because there's more of a risk. If you have two homes, one you live in and one is your rental, you can only afford to pay for one. Guess which one you're going to pay for? That's right, the one you live in. Your rental will miss the payment if you have to. So we have a lot of landlords who are seeing the same thing that you're seeing, this gold line. Prices have never been higher. And if you're not receiving rental income, what better time to get rid of your house than now? So I believe as soon as landlords have the freedom to get people out of their home, they're going to be wanting to sell. So that's going to increase the supply of homes. So you have an increase there, had a decrease before. But we have a lot of new homes on the market. But here's what was kind of shocking this week. I think it's Forbes magazine talked about, or an article in Forbes talked about, new home sales is starting to see some trouble. In an interview they did, 61% of new home sales said they are now starting to see resistance from home buyers. Now, I'm not surprised at all. We're Americans, right? I know Americans. I am an American. And we don't put up with a whole lot of crap. Pardon the expression there. And what has been happening is new home sales has just been going crazy, and they've been increasing their rates more and more and more. Recently it was blamed on the price of lumber, which, by the way, the lumber has taken, prices have taken a fall. So that excuse is kind of gone. New home subdivisions are not what we call co-oping with real estate agents. In other words, if you have a real estate agent you've been working with, you want to go to a new home subdivision, they pretty much say, no, you're a real estate agent. We're cutting him out of the deal. We don't want him here. As when in slower times, they say, bring your agent. We'd be glad to pay your agent a commission and let your agent work with us to help you negotiate. Right now, that's not happening. New home sales are pretty much saying, and as a matter of fact, we don't want your agent here, and your price of the house keeps going up, and you're lucky if you get to buy with us, pretty much. They don't say that. That's my words. So anyway, you're starting to see some resistance, which doesn't surprise me, because as I go back to Americans don't put up with a lot of crap. And so if you're going to get a bunch of pushback from a new subdivision and the home you want to buy, you're going to see reluctance to people to show up. That's just the way we are as a society. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm that way. And so you're starting to see this pushback. Prices are too high. So now think about this as the overall bigger picture. You have a tremendous amount of buyers who have backed off. They are frustrated because they can't find a home that they like in their price range. And so if they're going to back off and wait, prices are going to start to fall down again. And you have all of these home buyers who, once it reaches their threshold of, hey, now we can afford it, I think they're going to jump on it, pull the trigger, buy a home, which means that we really shouldn't see this gold line drop terribly far, because I still think there's a tremendous pent-up demand for affordable housing. So as home prices fall into the range of being more realistic, I think they're going to sell quickly. It's going to continue to be that way, I think, for a very long time. And I think that's good news. I'd really like to see that, where home prices get more realistic. I would love to see more first-time home buyers being able to afford a house that they want to have and fits their lifestyle. In other words, a typical nucleus family with some parents and some children, they need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It can't really live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. So that's what I'm talking about a home that makes sense for the lifestyle. So I think the long-term outlook is going to be good. But I do think we'll probably see some decrease in home prices. The article I was reading, and they quoted a few other sources, as saying, of course, they think home prices are going to see another 3% increase all the way into June of next year. We'll see. I don't necessarily see that. I do think we're going to see this slow decline, maybe a little peak back up again, and then decline again. So that's my take on it. Hey, I could be right, could be wrong, but that's where I'm going with based on this data, the outlook, and the home buying habits of the people I work with. So there you go. Guess what rates did this week? Shocker, they went down again. Now, let's see, last week we had 2.80 with 0.7 of a point. Now it's down to 2.77 with 0.6 of a point. Remember a couple weeks ago I told you Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac got rid of the hit to refinances. And I said, if all things stay equal, because rates are based on the open market, if all things stay equal, I said, I bet we're going to see a small decrease in rates because the average will go down, because refinancers should get a little better of a deal. Hey, I think that's what we're seeing right there. So anyway, now I can say goodbye. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.